Hey, everybody, welcome back to a special episode of Social Selling Made Simple. As you can tell, I'm not your host, Marky Lemons. I am the producer, Matt Johnson, back once again because we're sharing another in our series of Facebook Lives. Now, we're sharing these from Marky's personal Facebook account. If you can follow her there, you may have seen some of these, or you may have seen similar videos that she's done. And we wanted to pull out the best of those and share them here on the podcast because they're amazing content. We know you're going to enjoy it and really fits the point of view of the show. And so if you're not following Marky on Facebook, make sure that you're doing that. And just notice that when we jump into the conversation with Marky, you will hear her give shout outs and personal comments to people. That's because there were actually people watching this video live and interacting and commenting with Marky while she was recording. So if you would like to do that, make sure that you head on over to Marky on Facebook and follow her there so that you can do the same thing if you like. And then we'll get to the end and I will have a special request for you. But let's jump in right into the conversation with Marky. Let's keep going on this special series of Facebook Lives.
What's going on, Facebook? This is your girl, Marky Lemons-Ryhal, real estate keynote speaker and Facebook Live host. And today I am a mixed bag of emotion. One, I've talked all week about you can't tell me nothing. And this morning realized that often we are our own worst critics. What's going on, K-Rock? Hey, Bakel. We got to talk. We might be able to talk on the way once I leave out of here. Hey, Ennis. A lot of people hopping on. I just need to give them some shout outs. K-Rock, top commercial guy. He is now the king of deconversion. Ennis, instructor down in the state of Georgia, well, globally. And then Bakel, my girl, she's finishing up, I believe, leadership with NAR, and Jessica Civils oversees the tenant education program at CIC Chicago. Hey, Carrie, how you doing today? So today is going to be more like a two-part series on You Can't Tell Me Nothing, but I had to come to terms with the fact that I might be my own critic or the critic of others, something that we're consistently working on. So the very first thing I want to say is, as a parent, I've come to realize I'm not perfect. I think that I've done a good job of raising my son, but I've made mistakes along the way. And as a parent, you never want to be criticized for your parenting skills or styles. I can say this now because Skylar is a graduate of Howard University class of 2019. But when he got accepted into Howard, I told him straight up, Mama money funny, boo, you can't go to Howard University. And I was basing that on my current financial situation because as a result of the real estate crash, financially, I had lost it all. And that included his money set aside for him to go to college. And he was determined that he was going to Howard. And I could tell that every single time we had the discussion, he was 100% frustrated with me. And it appeared that I was not supporting him in his dreams and his goals. And I took a step back and I said, Marky, he wants to go the same way you speak into existence the desires of your heart. Why can't he speak his into existence? So one day, after going back and forth, well, I'm going to say we went back and forth for months. And if you know me and Skylar, my sons are mama's boys with a voice. So they love me very much. They sit up under me, but they'll hug me, kiss me, and tell me no at the same time. Or they will challenge me, okay? So they have learned to be able to question the system because I believe that life is not black or white. There are numerous shades of gray in between. And so I said, you know what? You very well might be able to go. I said, I'm going to step out of your way and let you figure it out. But all I got, now here come the problem. You got to finish in 4 years. And all I got is $12,000 a year on this here situation. So I had committed $48,000 to the situation. Make a long story short, he did not graduate in 4 years. It took him 5 years. The first year, my aunt made the commitment to get him through. So my first year, that was taken care of. However, I am clear that I did not spend $48,000. I spent close to $80,000. $100,000. But I changed my language and my perception to not hinder my child. Okay. And so sometimes, you hindering yourself, you're hindering your spouse, you're hindering your children because of your own limited beliefs. Get your butt on up out the way. Go sit down. The same way that you can manifest and things can come to you, same way it can happen for other people. So I'm sitting here looking. This is where the emotion comes in today, at the manuscript for my first book. And last year, I knew that I wanted to step up my podcast game. I knew that I should have had a book done. And consistently, everything comes with a cost. And I'm like, okay, how am I going to financially make all of these things pop? And I won't stop making money to make money. I've done that before, and it hindered my entire household. And so I said, it's going to happen. And every time someone would send me a bill for what something is going to cost, I'd put it over there on another table, and I'd say to myself, sit on it, Marky. Don't say what you can't afford. Say you got the money to do it all. Okay. We tell ourselves every single day what we can't do, what's not possible, how it's not going to manifest. We are our own worst enemies. And sometimes we are the enemies of others. Okay. We're the negative naysayer. So those who've known me for some time, I'm keep it 100, right? I think you might have noticed I don't say keep it 100. I say that I'm direct. Okay. Also, I don't want to do anything at the expense of others. So I want to lead with what you've done well, and then I'll tell you what you've done wrong. But here's the change. I do not provide unsolicited, non-paid for advice in which I'm not an expert. And I tell people that all the time. So when I tell you, right, what it is I'm telling you, it is because you've either seeked me as a mentor or you're paying me for the advice. If not, I'm going to keep it to myself. I tell everyone they should have a business plan. I don't care if you're in business or not. You need to have a plan for your life. You need to have a business plan. You are a business, whether you own a business or not. And so the people in the world who keep it 100, say it like it is, right? Because there's a bunch of them. I got a bunch of them type of girlfriends. Let me just tell you that right now. Who truth is that? That ain't the gospel. God ain't come down and tap you on your shoulders and say, oh, I need a co-pilot and telling the world. That's your truth. That is not everyone else's truth. That is not everyone else's experience. You can do anything you set your mind to. And I encourage you today, go. Get you a notebook and write it down. I walk around every single day with a notebook. People talk about me. I had one of these suckers in high school, right? I keep me a notebook, and I got notebooks over here. And let me tell you something. Something is in every last one of these notebooks, right? Because I'm writing it down, baby. I got big things I need to manifest. And I'm going to be honest with you. I got to get out my own way. I don't know how none of this stuff here is getting ready to work. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't have. How did I get to the 25th episode of my podcast and a manuscript for a book in the midst of everything else happening? And it's all paid for. It's all paid for. I'm going to tell you, though, what you do have to do. Sometimes you got to make a sacrifice. I'm driving a 2010 Honda. I've had 5 brand new Mercedes. I ain't never had a car, no 9 years, ever in life. Every last one of them other cars, 24 months, 24 months, 24 months. But see, what I was not going to be is the riding slick mama with an uneducated black man. See, I'm not going to unleash my sons into the world to be a plague or a burden on society. That's my responsibility. I will lay hands. I will go to jail for them, okay? And I ain't talking about lay hands on your kids. I'm talking about lay hands on my own kids, okay? So I made a sacrifice. 9 years I've been driving that car. Okay. And let me be honest with you. I kind of like not having a car note, but it was the reason that everything else could manifest itself. It's the reason that these things over here are paid for already, because I made a financial sacrifice for it. Okay. So I've changed my language, how I talk to myself. I've changed my language, how I talk to those around me. I've changed my language, how I talk to my children. My husband, I think, would like another job. I told him, I said, look, I need you to get happy with the one you got until you come up with a plan on how you're going to leave, okay? You want to do something else, write it down. Let me know how I can help you get to there, okay? And that's what I tell people all the time. How are we going to get there? How do you foresee this manifesting itself? But the last thing you want to be is the person that people don't want to be around because you don't have nothing nice to say because all you got to do is keep it 100, right? And your 100 often comes with negativity. Don't say and do anything to anybody else, right, at their expense. Try to pour something into someone. Give somebody the possibilities that what they believe they want, they can do. But I tell you now, you don't put no work in, you ain't getting nothing about that situation, okay? It ain't going to come to you like a dream, all right? Unless you affirm it, all right? So today, it ain't about what you not going to tell me. It's about what I'm not going to tell myself and tell other people, because you can do anything. My proudest moment right now is the fact that as an unwedded mother, I have a son who has a degree and a good job at Accenture, right? That part is accomplished, but my job ain't over. Heck, that was nothing but the opportunity to open a door. He need to really go. He got a foundation, but he got to go build on that foundation. And he ain't my only child. So now I got to keep this going on with Skylar. And that means that regardless to what happens in my day, I need to come home with a smile on my face. I need to be their number one cheerleader. You know, people want to know, why do I throw my son's elaborate events? Well, Skylar's gotten the most elaborate events because Austin tends to be an introvert. Let me not be confused about that. Why? Because if I don't celebrate them, how do you know? Everybody want to be celebrated. You know, so I celebrate mine. So they know what it feels like to be celebrated, to be honored, to look good, know you look good, smelling good, and people telling you, because that's all that's going to do, right, is attract more goodness to you. As a result of everything, not only did this manuscript show up this week, right, my alma mater called me, emailed me, and asked if I would come back to be an adjunct faculty member. That one right there had me sit on the side of the bed and shed a few tears. The Residential Real Estate Council contacted me this week. I'm speaking at Celebration. So I'm putting all this out there because I'm getting it back. Change your language. You don't allow other people to talk negative to you and suppress you in your growth. And out of respect for that, you don't do it to other people. It is Finger Popping Friday, and I appreciate every last one of you. If you need somebody to speak goodness into you, text your girl Marky. But remember, you gotta play it forward. Is it pay it forward or play it forward? Why don't we pay and play? How about that? Let's see how that manifests itself. So guys, I'm going to talk to you a little bit later. This is day 4. I got to come up with 16 more days of stuff to talk about. See you guys soon.
Hey, it's Matt Johnson again. Thanks so much for checking out this special episode of Social Selling Made Simple. No, it's a little bit different, but make sure to follow Marky so you can get these types of videos and content anytime that she's out there doing these things kind of on the fly. And if you're enjoying the podcast, there's a few different ways to get it. So if you're already on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, make sure that you're subscribed so that those episodes download to your phone automatically. Stitcher is another way to get it if you're on an Android phone. If you are more interested in reading the blog posts or watching the YouTube videos, you can go right to the website, or you can go over to the YouTube channel and you can see all the past episodes and highlight clips there. If you're really enjoying it, we'd love for you to do us a favor. Head on over to Apple Podcasts, just pull the app up or go to iTunes on your desktop while it still exists as a thing. But basically just go to Apple Podcasts and pull up the show and leave a 5-star review. And if there was a particular guest where you really enjoyed their episode, make sure to give them a shout out in your review, because we love to pass that on to the guests. So with that said, thanks again so much for listening to this special episode of Social Selling Made Simple.